Welcome to the course introduction of TCP/IP in action. My name is David Zimney and I'll be your instructor in this course. Let's take a look at what's inside. The actual course covers a lot of the IP routing protocols and the operations and features of TCP, Transmission Control Protocol. We'll discuss some of the applications, TCP/IP utilities for troubleshooting network problems, and the components and deployments of virtual private networks. We'll take a look at application behavior, issues involving convergence, and the protocols that are designed to enhance performance for applications that require a defined quality of service. This is very important. Remember that IP is a connectionless protocol, and we're transporting then packetized data over a connectionless environment. How can we make it look like the behavior is more connection-oriented? Our objectives in the course will be to match communications requirements with well-designed TCP or UDP solutions. Make sure that whether it's data, voice, or video, that we have the proper protocols in place to adequately support the application that we're running. We explain how some of the applications that were developed for TCP/IP protocol suite are used, such as Telnet, FTP, File Transfer Protocol, HTTP, Domain Name System, what they do in providing services in a TCP/IP environment. We'll also take a look at the challenges of providing the QoS. We just mentioned that many of our applications need a guarantee, and this is especially true when we're trying to converge in real-time type of applications along with our data. TCP/IP is great as it is for data, but may need some tweaking when it comes to adequate support for voice and video. We'll also talk about virtual private networks and how to go about implementing these in an enterprise environment. And we'll compare, contrast the functions, benefits, and, very importantly here, the challenges of IP-based networks with some of the alternative technologies. It's also, an option in many cases is that if we want to leave some of the upper-level activity alone, we can improve the performance by hiding the inadequacies of an upper-layer protocol by using a better-tuned, better-performing lower-level protocol. So we can take a look at some of the alternative strategies that abound out there. Course prerequisites. Datacom and telecom courses are recommended. You really need to have a comfort level with the behavior of datacom and telecom networks. Be comfortable with what the constituent parts are, the protocols that are used for data and telecommunications applications. We also want to recommend that you complete the actual 3 courses in the TCP/IP sequence. You may have already completed the TCP/IP essentials, but make sure that you wrap up your study with the courses in the IPv6 migration. So, some of our module topics, and let me just list these out here for you. IP routing will be talked about. We'll discuss in more detail dynamic routing protocols such as RIP, OSPF, and BGP. Take a look at the details of the transport layer, namely deciding whether we should use TCP or UDP. Take a look at streaming data issues. What is it we're going to have to do to make this work well with real-time applications? We'll take a look then at the applications that are designed for support with TCP, and then we'll take a look at those that aren't. We'll also take a look at some of the applications of such as DNS and other TCP/IP utilities. So some of the other module topics would be the different applications that of concern, like web applications and email, and issues involving concerning TCP/IP correctly for adequate support of these applications. How do we go about building virtual private networks, some of the options, the different methods of approaching VPN, and what issues abound in terms of security of information and things like that. We'll talk about the actual standard solution that exists for implementing VPNs, and that is a part of the protocol associated with V6 IP was developed prior to V6, and that is IP security. We'll take a look at how it was successful in helping us create the secure environment necessary for VPN operation. Then we'll wrap up with some discussion of QoS and performance issues in IP-type networks. So the curriculum path, you see that Datacom and Telecom are recommended as a background prior to these courses. You should also have taken the TCP/IP Essentials, and then here we are with TCP in action, TCP/IP in action, and also recommend the migrating to TCP/IP as well. The sequence in those three courses would be in the order shown, but if they can't be viewed exactly that way, then any of the sequences are all right after you've taken Datacom and Telecom. Okay, remember any type of exercises and so forth suggested during the modules in the course can be downloaded from the paperclip link. And the issue of questions, we'll remind you of this throughout the courses, and that is if you need to ask a question or wish to make a comment, please go to the question comment box at GoGo. So let's get started.